In 2020, there is no magic trick that I get asked about more day to day than sawing a woman in half. Everywhere I go and I meet people, have you ever sawed a woman in half? Do you know how to saw a woman in half? Have you ever seen someone saw a woman in half? Can you tell me how to saw a woman in half? Hey, can you saw my wife in half? Because you know how it's funny to not love your wife? In 2020, I'm going to go on record and say I am sick and tired of watching that trick. Don't pull back right now. I will explain. The thing is, when you first see that someone's about to perform that trick and they explain they're about to do it, you're gearing up for what is about to be a 13-minute experience. One reason why is because the first thing that will happen is the magician is going to pull on an enormous wooden box from off stage. They now spend the next 2 minutes trying to convince each and every person in the room the box is totally normal, even though everyone in the room knows it is not. Once the box has been shown, a woman comes out, the assistant, who's going to be sawn in half, coming out in the tightest underwear you've ever seen in your goddamn life. This woman is going to be sawed in half. She's always the one that goes into the box. There's always a woman that goes into the box, never the man. Now, I'm not going to tell you how this trick works, but I've done enough research to know that it does not require a uterus. But we just kind of agreed that it does, and that's just sort of how it's done now. I'm going to do this trick for you now. Mine is a little bit different though. Instead of a big wooden box, I'm going to use this newspaper.
John, why are you using a newspaper?
Oh, excellent question. The newspaper I find to be as out of date and antiquated as the trick itself. Burn! Instead of a human assistant, I will be using this red silk handkerchief.
John, why are you using a red silk handkerchief?
Oh, excellent question. I find that the red silk handkerchief is going to have as many lines and as much agency as the woman in the trick.
Double burn!
Double burn! The woman is placed inside of the box like this. Now, before we move any further, once the woman lies down in the box, two dudes are brought up from the audience. The magician gets these dudes and brings them on stage, and the dudes are given two big ropes to tie her down to the box at her ankles and at her neck. It is while the dudes are tying her up, the magician will always, inevitably, turn to one of the dudes and go, huh, he's done this before. Because, you know, sex. The box is then closed. Now, before we move any further, what happens is there's two little windows that hinge open on the front. You can see the woman tied at the neck and the ankles down to this table, and to prove that she is, quote, still there and hasn't been switched out for fake legs, the dudes are asked to touch at her legs to make sure that she's still really there. So now this woman is in her underwear, tied down to the neck and ankles to this wooden table, with strangers just grabbing at her shin bones. I don't have to do any of that. All I have to do is pull up and down on this handkerchief. You can see that it is still there. It has not moved. Perfect. As at this point in the routine, the magician goes off stage and comes back on with the biggest, fakest looking saw you've ever seen in your life. A saw that only a cartoon lumberjack would ever cut something with. I'm not going to be using a big fake saw. I'm just going to be using this normal pair of scissors. Once the box is cut in half, the magician then has the two dudes pull on each rope, pulling the two halves of the box apart, separating them like this, and the magician always steps between them and strikes a dramatic pose like this. The magician then accepts his applause since the box has been cut in half, and the applause goes to him despite the fact that he has done jack shit up to this point. Now, we've seen no blood and we've heard no screaming, so you'd hope that this misogynistic nightmare is over. But it is not, because now we have to push the two halves back together. There's always 80 buckles around the sides of the box. We have to undo all 80 buckles, lift up the top of the box, untie the knots, then this woman goes back to her seat. Sorry, she goes back on stage, the dudes go back to their seat. I don't do any of that. All I have to do is take these two halves, twist them together like this, count 1, 2, 3. There's a fully restored